And I had a little dream, a little swanito, if you will, about making a podcast one day, and now here we are. Now here we are. We're making a podcast, you guys. This is great. We're talking about a movie as usual. As usual, In the Heights. It's a musical. It was fun. There was singing and dancing. They broke the fourth wall, and I thoroughly loved it. But I do have some complaints. We'll get to those later. Oh, what are you guys thinking about the movie?
To me, it's the perfect movie to go back into the theaters for. Like, it's this euphoric celebration that if you don't come out that you had fun, there's something wrong.
I think I would have liked it better if I saw it in the theater. I tried to watch it on my TV and my Roku was being weird. So I had to watch it on my iPad. So I watched it on this tiny little, and it just, I think maybe didn't have the effect that it could have had because I wasn't.
So wait a minute.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Does the ankle bracelet preclude you from leaving the house? Is that why? I don't understand why you couldn't go see it.
Wow.
Because it was on HBO, Gino. So I just watched it. I mean, if they make it easier, like I'm just gonna watch it on. And I know like a lot of people have been complaining that it hasn't made a lot of money because it was also available on HBO Max. And I think that's true. I mean, I'm probably not going to go to a theater and see it, especially because I wasn't going to watch it anyway. But, Josh said, hey, let's watch In the Heights. And I'm a very good friend. So I said, sure, Josh, let's watch it.
And and with that brings an end to our pre-show chatter, everybody. Thanks for coming. Silence your phones. Okay. And then I just cut this part out. And then I come back. Oh, and how would you like me to introduce you?
Just entertainment reporter for the Fox affiliate in Milwaukee and the Dish Network.
Oh, okay. Do you want me to use your last name or no?
Yeah, I'm like Madonna.
Oh my God.
Cher. Just one name is fine. No, you know what? It's so Gino is just easy. You can say Gino Salamone if you want, but I'm fine with anything. Don't worry.
Okay, great. If you haven't already guessed, guys, we're back with another great episode of Josh and Cassie Yell About Movies. I'm Josh, a freelance entertainment journalist of much renown. I talk to people far and wide, and today I'm talking to Cassie, and a great guest we'll interview in a second. Cassie, how are you feeling today?
I'm feeling really good. It's really hot outside, kind of like the musical that we watched In the Heights was all about it being very hot outside. So I kind of relate, right? That was the main message I got.
Maybe we should dance this entire episode instead of using the headphones.
I think I'll pass.
Great. And okay, excellent. And we have a fantastic guest here today, guys. He's an authentic film critic, or so he tells me, a Fox 5 affiliate. He also
Fox
does
5.
What's that?
6.
Fox 6.
Wow. They're fancy
one
up there in
off.
Milwaukee.
One off.
Like I said, they're fancy up there in Milwaukee. Guys, it's Gino. He also does some work for DishNet. Welcome to the show, Gino.
I want to ask you a question right off the bat. You said this is a great episode. We haven't even done it yet. How do you know it's a great episode?
Because they're all great. I mean,
they're all great, Gino. These are all great episodes.
We haven't done a bad one yet.
Sure. The pressure that I'll spoil it and make it mediocre when you've had only great, but I'll be quiet now.
No, if anyone's going to spoil it, it'll be Josh. Don't worry.
There you go. Oh, look at that. We're already... Wow. Okay. Well, I've been told that I don't do enough talking, and I just mostly ask the guests questions and don't answer them. So I'm going to try to answer some of the questions that I ask you guys, because
that's good. I don't know that I'll have that much to say about this. I'll be totally honest.
Wow.
So I'm gonna, and I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean, I don't know. I didn't take much away from it. I'll be honest.
Okay, Cassie, what's your history of musicals? Let's get into it.
I'm not a huge musical person. I love Chicago. Chicago's my favorite musical.
That's one of my favorite cities.
That too. I went through a big Moulin Rouge phase when I was in high school. Apart from that, though, I never saw Les Mis when that was a big thing. I'm just not a big musical person, and I never have been. Josh sent me the trailer. You're like, doesn't this look so awesome? And I was like, sure. And then I sent Josh the trailer for The Last Night in Soho. I was like, this looks amazing. And you were like, okay. I think we just have different tastes in movies.
I well,
You know,
yeah.
I don't dislike them.
Listen, I think we can all appreciate a little dancing in the street. Let's get down to it, Gino. Did you grow up in musicals? What do you think of the form?
I like the form very much, and I like this, and I'll tell you why I like this so much. I liked filming on the street on real locations. I thought that
Yeah.
was great. And look, the energy, the color, the up. If you didn't come out seriously enjoying this movie, I don't understand why. Because to me, I don't normally speak like this, but it is a celebration. It was
Yeah.
just
Aw.
I really enjoyed it.
Yeah,
It was very colorful and bright and upbeat, but there was some really serious subject matter sort
Yes.
of peppered in there too.
Yes, there were, and we'll get to those. It starts off introducing you guys to Washington Heights, a place I actually used to live, so I know a little bit about it. And it felt right at home with those streets and Lin Manuel Miranda pushing that icy cart. Have you guys seen one of those before?
Yes.
Like in
Yes.
real life? No.
Yes,
I don't
in real
think so.
life.
I
Yeah,
don't
just
think so. I'm
someone,
from
you know,
I'm
pushing
from
a.
Neenah, Wisconsin. Do you think they
Listen,
they
And
don't have
remember,
stuff
Josh,
like that?
she can't leave her apartment. Remember,
I
she's
get
seen
it.
nothing.
I get it. I didn't know how mean the mean streets of Milwaukee were. I didn't know there's people pushing these cups of ice and then pouring liquid slushy sunshine onto it.
Not that I know of.
Yeah. Okay, great. So the opening dance number in the Heights introduces you to music, the singing, dancing, the city of New York, the George Washington Bridge. There's people like Gino said, it's outside. The whole film, 80% of the film was outside, not the whole film, but 80% of the film is outside, out on the streets. Even a lot of the interior shots are buildings inside a building where it's glass and you can see out on the street. It's pandemonium out there. I know this is one of the films they waited to release for a long time because of the pandemic, and HBO Max gave them some money, and so here we are with HBO Max. I earlier in my musical listening career, I hated musicals. I thought they did nothing but singing, and for people who hate that, perhaps this one has about what do you guys think? About 25% talking, 75% singing.
It was a lot of singing.
Well, and when you say singing, it is Lin Manuel Miranda singing. I mean, to me, it's like the lead, Anthony Ramos, is just playing Lin Manuel.
Right.
It's
You
if
stand
you
it
watch.
from you.
This came before Hamilton, but it sounds the same. It kind of reminds me of Woody Allen when he directs a movie and his lead is always speaking like Woody Allen.
Yeah, that's a great point. A very special lady told me that the star of the movie, well, not the star of the movie. I'm sorry, Lin Manuel Miranda played this character in the earlier Broadway versions of the show.
Right. And
Yeah.
the only reason he's in this one is because he felt that number that he did was so important. And they told him that unless he did that number, it would not be included in the final cut.
Oh, what number is that?
That is what I had heard. The only number that Lin Manuel does in this film. I don't remember the title of it, but
Oh,
Yeah,
well, he's
right at the beginning, right?
He's in the beginning pushing the icy cart, and then he's at that scene at the end, near the end at the beach, and then he's there at the very end. Also, just you can hear his voice, but if you didn't know who he was, you wouldn't think much of it. But if you've seen Hamilton, if you've seen Mary Poppins 2, right, it's Mary Poppins 2, you guys.
I have seen Mary Poppins too.
Mary Poppins 2, another great film. Then you would be like, oh, it's Lin Manuel. It's so great to see him. He's like an old friend. And this film feels like an old friend, doesn't it? I mean, like it does follow an established set of beats, like the Suanito, this little dream about getting off the island, but then finding out that the island you were on the whole time is the one you wanted. So I love the message. What do you guys think about the message?
I agree. I do like that, but I just found it odd that he was telling this story to kids, and I'm not going to spoil anything, but these kids are awfully young.
You can. We're a
Hearing the
spoiler.
story.
Spoiler.
Oh, you're spoiler?
Yeah.
But you can hold that for the end. You can hold it for the end because we talk about the film chronologically.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I found that odd. I didn't think that worked with little kids hearing this entire story and hearing story of what adults are thinking and doing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But that was my only complaint.
No, you're absolutely right. Now that it's one of those films where like as you go through it, you love it, and then afterwards you're like, oh, I had some thoughts that you couldn't quite maybe you didn't think of it in the while watching. There wasn't much of it I didn't like while watching, but yeah, as thinking back on it, there's just a few sequences that seem not quite as important or weak, and that was certainly one of them. Another one for me, the weak moment for me, weak casting, was this Corey Hawkins Benny character. I think he's a guy from Star Wars also, right? And either that or just looks very similar to that guy. Anyway,
he was Dr. Dre in Straight Outta Compton.
Oh, Straight Out. Yeah, that's right. Another great film. Anyway, his character was the only one of the main characters that didn't feel developed like everybody else. Musicals, they have this I wish, I want, a dream kind of thing. He didn't really seem like he had a dream. He worked as a dispatch officer for Jimmy Smith's cab company. A nice little role by Jimmy Smith, by the way. I love that guy in this role.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He didn't really seem like he had a dream. He wanted to be with Jimmy Smith's daughter, Nina. But beyond that, he didn't seem, you know what I mean? He had a lot of dance numbers. He didn't seem like he had a fully developed character arc of his own.
And that was the odd thing. I'm so glad you said that, because by the end, I'm wondering, well, what happened with that story? You know, did he ended up with Jimmy Smith's daughter, but what happened to them?
Yeah.
No, we don't know.
Yeah. Well, it's 1,001 stories. We don't have time to tell them all. Cassie, was there any weak moments for you in a otherwise film you love so much?
I did like it. Listen, I'm not saying, I mean, it was good for what it was, which was a musical that I couldn't really connect to. But other than that, it was really well done. Anyway, I have a question that's really unrelated. So there's a part in the film where he says, "Come on, everyone's closing up early because of the heat."
I love that.
Do people do that? Is that a thing?
Oh my gosh, yes, Cassie, yes. New York City. I when I lived there, we had a blackout. We had cab strikes. Things happen in New York City. The strike is citywide, and it's 105 degrees. You saw the temperature. People want to get out.
So
nobody
they just close. Okay.
Why not? It's a bodega, by the way, is an independent grocery store owned by the family of the star, who he got from his parents, who came from the Dominican Republic.
Mm-hmm.
And he can do with it whatever he wants. If he feels like closing for the day, just flip the sign up. It's not like the 7-Eleven. He's not responsible to a corporate office telling him what to do. And that's the charm of what's one of the charms of New York City. That's what people love. It's sort of, hey, make your own way, city of dreams. So.
And I want to say, that character played by Anthony Ramos, I just think he's a star. He is so good at it, that I like the fact that it wasn't a recognizable face, and that just drew me into it even more.
Yeah.
It felt like watching real people.
Yes.
I did. I appreciated that also. I mean, I feel like I enjoyed the non-singing parts more than the singing parts and I was talking with someone else about it, Reese, who was on our Cherry episode, and he said he was the exact opposite. He found the talking bits really boring, and he only liked the singing. So I guess it depends. But I think my favorite scene was the dinner party scene, and when the daughter and the father get into a tiff about that was the one scene that really held my attention, when they were bickering over college and she's telling him she doesn't want to go back. That was my favorite part.
Yeah, that was great. It was a great part. It was one of the main was one of the many subplots they balanced, I thought, pretty effectively in this film. Nina just apparently dropped out of Stanford. She's telling her dad that it's too late, it's over, and she thinks she can't afford to send her to Stanford. She thinks she can't afford to follow her dreams because she thinks it'll be taken away from her dad's future, and it's too much guilt for her. And so that push and pull between Jimmy Smith and his daughter Nina throughout the film was very effective. And they had a number of other scenes, including an argument in a little cafe where he just slams his hand down to fist, and he's like, "You can't tell me what I can't spend my money on." Like that part, just takes your breath away. But actually, there was a musical number, Cassie. I bet you might have enjoyed as much as me and Gino did. The salon dance scene. Now, come on.
That was fun. Yeah, the lady the older woman, I can't remember her character's name.
Right, and then there's another character. Orange is the New Black is one of the main characters.
Yeah, who played Daya on Orange is the New Black. I liked her.
But you mentioned that fact that you don't remember that older actress, Daphne Rubin Vega by name. But I wanted to say that and it's not because I have gray in my hair and a white beard, but I do like the fact that there was a variety of ages in this movie. You had Abuela, who was a big character. And Jimmy Smith's, a lot of movies like this go for a younger audience and have only people in their 20s I like the fact that there was a variety of ages and everybody given their due.
That is absolutely a great point, which brings me to one of the saddest moments and something that just didn't sit right. Like Abuela, like when when the main character Anthony Ramos Uznavi, whose name comes from, it's a really funny sequence. He reveals it came from the word U.S. Navy. Uznavi. He says he wants to take Abuela and his cousin to the Dominican Republic. You're like, that's it. She's gonna die. That's what did you guys think that?
No, I didn't see that coming. I didn't make that connection.
Oh, I did. She's like the retired cop who's got 2 days left on the job, where he said, I'm getting too old for this shit. I can't do this anymore. You're dead.
Wait, we haven't talked about the creepy contortionist that I texted you about, Josh, while I was watching. Did you see that, Cassie, Gino, in the swimming pool scene?
Cassie, set it up for us. It's hot. Everybody goes to the swimming pool. They shut the bodega down, and they're off to a swimming pool, a giant outdoor swimming pool. Go ahead, Cassie, break it down.
I can't break it down, but it was a musical number in the pool, which was really cool. It looked really cool. But I texted Josh and I said, "Did you see that? Did you see that guy? Did you see what he was doing?" Josh was like, "What? I didn't see it." So I held my phone up to my iPad and recorded it. I said, "That guy, the guy behind the main guy. What is he doing?"
Yeah.
And he was like,
"You want me to do a little of that? Little bit."
Oh God. And then Josh, who I learn something new about every day, says, "Oh yeah, I can do that stuff." And he sends me a YouTube link of him doing all these creepy things with his shoulders. It's such a roller coaster being friends with you, Josh. I learn something new every day.
I had no idea either.
I know. Who knows? I need a sign strapped to my face. But yeah, that was another thing, that swimming pool scene. How many dancers are there in New York, you guys? There was like hundreds of extras, and they're all great.
Mm-hmm.
Not a single extra in this entire film like took me away from the film. Like, that's some expert direction and pride in these extras, that they were doing something besides just walking back and forth, which people do in movies a lot. But everybody was like doing something. There was like emotion. They were grabbing. They were dancing on the street. I loved it. What did you think? Like the extra work, like specifically in the pool scene, and on that big opening dance number where there's like hundreds of people out on the street.
Yeah, I mean, they were all clearly professional dancers, right? It wasn't like, when we would show up to a large call and they'd say, "Hold this book and walk that way." Like, yeah. I mean,
but see, what I liked about that, those are great faces. If you looked at the face, these are people who we don't see on the screen, and I was so glad to see the variety of real looking people, not Hollywood people.
Right.
Yeah, that's another great point. Gino, I'm glad we brought you on, bringing the older perspective here. I know.
He said it, not me.
Well, this was my last appearance with you, but thank you. I enjoyed it. Because, man my age, I need to go take a nap.
Stop.
So I thank you for having me on. I'm glad I made some great points in my feeble later days of my life.
Stop.
So thank you.
Oh, well, listen, it's okay. I'm 45 myself.
I was gonna say, we've all taken some trips around the sun, like.
Great. Well, did anything? Now that we're talking about it, Gino, did anything else stand out to you as particularly great or particularly bad?
No, I like that. I like the number that everyone's. Okay, again, spoiler alert. Abuela is gone, and everybody is kind of mourning, and it's hot, and no one's moving around, and suddenly it comes to life. I love that. And that's, one of the things I want to see is the behind the scenes of doing that pool number, doing the number I'm talking about right now. That's a lot of work with that many people to get it right. Mm-hmm. Well done.
Yeah. Oh, and before I forget, I did read a CNN interview of it, and they were, spoiler alert, like the end of the film, the Sweenito, the little dream, he gets his little dream from a lottery ticket, like that's right. I didn't like that $69,000 lottery ticket number stuff. Like, think what? 96,000.
96.
Oh, what could I do with 96,000? It's like, and it's weird because we're used to thinking of like bigger numbers in film for changing people's lives. So in one sense, it would change a lot of these people's lives. It changed my life, but we don't always think of numbers like that. But it was funny. The CNN interviewer really criticized the film heavily for leaning into that amount of money changing people's life, because he felt it was ignoring some of the exterior causes of the neighborhood disappearing, like like DACA. They had a Dreamers protest rally, and in that rally, the people they were almost like echoing Lin Manuel Miranda. They said, "Tell our story, tell our story," and that was the whole refrain of the movie Hamilton, making sure that we aren't forgotten.
But again, telling that story. That's right. These are stories that don't get told. I'm encouraged by what I'm seeing of late, that people are able to tell their story when Hollywood wouldn't allow that before.
Yeah.
They wouldn't make this movie.
That's true. They weren't filming like musicals like this before.
And it's just, did you not think too about the fact that we've got West Side Story coming out later in the year, also shot on location, also shot outdoors? It makes me really curious to see, is Spielberg watching this going, oh man, this is what I'm doing?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Because like I hear a lot of people online say, yeah, I've heard enough stories of white people. Yeah, it's great to see a film that's fully represented in a fully diverse film. And now that I'm thinking about it, were there any white people in the film? You know what I mean? I guess there weren't.
That real estate agent lady, I think.
That
was showing the apartment or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, I identify with almost all these characters. It didn't hold me back, so I don't know. Anyway, racism, you guys, it's a bad thing. I'm glad it's a very diverse film.
It's true. Yes, it is.
Yeah, that's my PSA for the day.
What else, Josh?
Oh, I don't know. I took so many notes. We've been flying through this one. Let's see. Cassie, did you have a favorite scene?
Yeah, the dinner scene.
Okay,
where the daughter says that she was searched in her dorm, and she found out that her father sold their family business. I liked that scene. It was well acted.
Okay, well, in that case, since we're humming along at a fast pace, and which is good because it's because it's easier for me to edit anyway.
Yeah, like I said, I don't know. I don't have a ton.
Oh no.
Sorry.
I really liked that the wink and the nod, breaking the fourth wall when they were doing the dancing on the wall on the rooftop scene, and like those scenes, it's obviously like they're imagining what it'd be like if they were dancing on the roof and on the wall. But then it pulls back to a family inside eating dinner, and there's a kid who sees it and his eyes like go wide, like he's watching a Spider-Man film or something. Like it's so funny. Like it takes you out of it, and just it's a wink and a nod to the audience.
Well, and there was a movie before you kids were born called Royal Wedding with Fred Astaire, where he danced on the walls and the ceiling, and that was done, manually. I want to see again how this was done. I did enjoy that scene a lot. I thought it was beautiful, and I love that final slide back into reality down the side of the building.
Yeah. The thing I love the most, we touched on earlier, is how New York City is just like alive in this film, like the George Washington Bridge, like that one shot with Nina and the Benny character against the George Washington Bridge. I mean, how romantic can you get, right, Cassie?
Oh, don't ask me that question. No? I don't know. How romantic can you get? I don't have a lot of romantic nights in New York, Josh.
Okay, well they were kissing in front of the George Washington Bridge as a backdrop. It's just it's a beautiful image of people coming and going, and fits with the theme of the film that you can go somewhere and leave, but you'll this film is about finding home and realizing that home is where you are. Sometimes home is where you make it.
And utilizing New York, like you said, this wasn't Vancouver pretending to be New York.
Right.
I'm so pleased that they really did shoot in the city.
Yeah. Wow. Well, Gino, did you have any favorite dance numbers we didn't talk about yet? Song and dance numbers?
I mean, you have to, that pool number, you have to appreciate all that went into that and the beauty of it and the different angles. I came away with scenes. I do want to see it again. And Cassie, you need to see it on the big screen.
I know, I do.
Sitting on your iPad, locked in your apartment, that's not a way to enjoy this movie. I think this is what going to see a movie on the big screen is all about, a spectacle with energy and music that's really a lot of fun. And I'm not, by the way, I have never quoted for a movie, and I won't, because I don't believe that it's fair when a studio pays your way to do interviews that suddenly you say, it's the roller coaster ride of the summer. But so I don't give quotes, but that sounds like a quote, but I mean it. I really think this should bring people back into the theaters.
Aww.
It's great. Well, thank you, Gina. And now that I'm flipping through my notes, I realize we forgot to talk about a major character, you guys. Vanessa, the girl that wants to be a fashion designer. We didn't talk about her. Okay, there's a lot of women in the film. Let's not give them short shrift. What did you guys think of Vanessa's character arc and her as a person who can sing? She has a great voice.
She has a great voice, and I do like that storyline. I thought she was really effective and not as big a star in the future. I don't know. I want to revisit that and see if she indeed takes off with her career. You know, whereas I feel like we're going to see Anthony Ramos. He's been in a bunch of stuff already, but he's going to keep working. Melissa Barrera, she was perfect for the role. I thought that worked, but I want to see more from her than I saw in this film.
Yeah. Absolutely. I also like that theme of how inspiration can strike you anywhere. Like there's like they just throw in this random like spray paint character named Pete, and he has like a major role at the end. And she'd been stuck. She wanted to go to fashion school? Was that what it was? Fashion school, right?
Right.
Yeah. She wanted to go to fashion school. Be somebody. It's like it's A Star Is Born. She wanted to go be somebody. And she was she felt stuck where she was, not knowing if she wanted to be with Uznavi's character, even though they've been right in front of each other like their whole lives. They talked about growing up in that neighborhood, and then everybody, it's like that old story. Like he always loved her, but somehow she didn't see what was right in front of her. So I loved how she found inspiration from the spray paint rags and then made that her new fashion line, and she debuted that in the studio, and that set up the final number. Gino, why don't you talk about that? You've been waiting to not spoil that one.
Well, no, I just want to get back to what you're just saying too, though. Like in every musical and every romantic comedy, it seems like the guy is longing for somebody, and when she gives that kiss, it changes all their lives. And I really appreciated that.
Oh yeah, like he was. Oh, that's right. Thanks for reminding me. He was about to get on a plane to go to the Dominican Republic, and just like Shakespeare, she stopped him. She stopped him with a kiss.
Yes, a kiss that just really, really put everything into action and changes the outcome of this movie.
Yeah, which I think since we're at 27 minutes, so I think we can talk about the outcome of this movie.
Go ahead, Josh. You do it.
Oh, great. Well, it's the next morning. They just leave after a kiss, which is a little weird, but that's fine. So it's the next morning. He's about to go get on a plane to the Dominican Republic to set up his little Sweeney Toe. He's early in the film. I forget the setup, but a manager, older friend of his, is trying to get him to go reclaim his parents' heritage over in Dominican Republic, and I forget set up a coffee shop there, or a cafe, or something over there, but he didn't know anybody over there. And so Vanessa says she wants to show him something, and she takes him inside her studio and shows him all these pieces she's made together, along with like this just gorgeous like painting of the city from the spray paint character who his name I had a second ago, but I forgot. But he spray paints it all, and he was a nobody character, and all of a sudden he's in one of the pivotal scenes. I love that. And then it goes back to, like you said, throughout the film, he's telling the story. You think he's on the beach, but then the film, it pulls back, and then he wasn't on the beach the whole time. He was telling the story to these kids in Washington Heights, and he kept telling them, Washington Heights, say it so it doesn't disappear. Like, he didn't want the block to disappear. There was a sense that the hair salon had to close, that might be moving. Jimmy Smith's taxi cab company might be closing down, or he did sell it, actually, to further his daughter's career, Nina. Don't let it disappear. It was love the community involvement. Like you said, thinking about it, I mean, little kind of a cheesy device to get into the film that I didn't think they needed with the kids, but I mean, it was nice that we flash forward and see that they're married and have kids. I mean, at the same time, so right.
And I love the fact that where Hamilton was the filming of a Broadway show on the stage, it was great seeing this story told in the real locations.
Yeah.
Cassie, did you see it?
I haven't watched Hamilton. I know it's on Disney Plus, and everyone has told me that I need to watch it, but I still haven't. Sorry.
Oh boy. Okay. Well, yeah. Well, let's send this one home. Does anyone have any final thoughts they've been holding on to, or maybe some thoughts came through while we're talking that you hadn't thought of before you wanted to express?
Well, I kind of mentioned earlier West Side Story coming up. So do you think this film helps West Side Story or it hurts it?
Well, in a sense, it helps it because it gets an audience appetite, going and their heart pumping to, want to dance in the streets and take it outside. West Side Story is also outside a little bit, but yeah, the social and diversity elements will definitely be a broad comparison, and a lot of people will be writing comparison stories about the two
Right.
when they come out. I'm sure it'll ultimately. I think this will be seen as a more important film, and maybe one that changes things. Who knows? But I loved it.
I mean, West Side Story is so iconic too, though. Like, even I know what West Side Story is, and I had never heard of In the Heights before. So I think
Yeah.
West Side Story was always going to be really successful. I think this one was maybe just a harder sell because unless you're a Broadway person,
Unless you're a jet.
you you probably never heard of this. Like I hadn't either. So yeah.
Yeah. Well, if you live in New York City and you get on the subway, you see all these posters for all these Broadway shows. Oh, by the way,
Sure, yeah.
just a little aside, real quick. Jimmy Fallon and Lin Manuel Miranda had a little Broadway style dance number called "Broadway's
Yeah,
Back."
I
Did
saw
you guys
that.
see that? Anyway, catch it. Watch it on Hulu or YouTube or whatever. And they introduced various snippets of various Broadway shows, including Hamilton. And strangely, they left out In the Heights, I think, because Lin Manuel was leading up to this movie. Oh, final thought: Lin Manuel Miranda did not direct this movie. You guys, were you shocked about
No,
that?
he didn't.
No.
No.
The choice was right, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
He'd done Crazy Rich Asians, and that was a big cast that was filled with vibrant color and life to it as well. So I think he was a good choice.
Oh, John Cho. We forgot to mention the name of the director, John Cho. Yes.
Why was his name attached to it
Trek.
then? Apart from that, did he produce it or what?
Lin Manuel was one of the several listed producers. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Okay. Well,
Gino, come back when we watch a movie that I care about. I swear I'm way better than this. I just have nothing to say.
This is the end of the date, and you don't know how it went, and it's time to say goodbye. And no one's really, should we shake hands? Should we hug?
Right. Oh wow. Yeah. I second that, Gino. I'd love to have you back.
Thank you. That's very nice. Thank you.
You're welcome. And let's do a rating. Cassie, show them how it's done.
Okay. So Gino, we like to pick something based on the movie, and we do 8 out of 10. So I'm gonna do 8 out of 10 or 10 out of 10. I'm gonna do 8 out of 10. $96,000 winning lottery tickets. That's my rating.
Yeah.
I'll give it 8.5 fake backgrounds that we can stand in front of. How about that?
Wow.
Very good.
Wow. Also, if you're following along, guys, we forgot to mention that winning lottery ticket was found dramatically in Abuelo's little some sort of cup holder kind of thing. Anthony Ramos Uznavi found it after she died, and that was his little dream as Juanito to set up his own little larger version of the bodega or a coffee shop, whatever it was. It was a gathering place, I guess, to keep the community together.
And in the DVD, you will see the scene that was deleted where he smothers Abuela with the pillow because he wants the lottery ticket.
Right.
Oh my God.
We know what he would do for that $96,000. Is that what you're saying,
Right.
We know.
Yep.
You know.
See,
okay.
that movie would have been more my speed, probably.
All right.
What's your rating, Josh?
I will give this film a 9 out of 10 sweltering hot days at the pool. That's
Perfect.
what I'll give it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right. And that's it. This is where the credits roll.
Yay. Thanks, Gino.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Oh wait, we never do this, but should we find you online anywhere?
Why waste your time? No, actually, you can go on Instagram at Movie Gino.
Oh, you're on
Twitter
Instagram?
at Movie Gino. Yes.
I'll add you on Instagram, Gino.
And I do a lot on YouTube as well. So watch
Okay.
Gino TV on YouTube.
Great. Well, this is also on YouTube.
Fantastic. Look, we're competing with ourselves. Look at
Yeah.
that.
Oh man, just got to get some more sponsors. All right, I'll catch you guys next time. This was fun.
Thanks so much.
All right. Thanks.
Bye, guys. Have a good day.
Thanks,
right.
Gino.
Oh wait, hold on.